Welcome back to National Report. A Rhode Island mom's fight for transparency in public schools rages on. Nicole Solas headed to court last week in an effort to dismiss the lawsuit against her filed by the Ocean State chapter of the National Education Association. Solas says earlier this year the teachers union sued her shortly after she requested public information about what was being included in her daughter's curriculum, specifically when it comes to whether elements of race-based curriculum were included. Nicole Solas and her lawyer, John Riches from the Goldwater Institute, it's a conservative public policy and litigation organization, join us both now on the program. And it's great to see you both, because a lot of people have been fascinated with this case, and we've been following it from the beginning. So here's the latest here. In the lawsuit, the teachers union claims, Nicole, that your requests were putting teachers' privacy at risk. Again, you wanted to see the curriculum. They said, given the circumstances of the request, it is likely that any teachers who are identifiable and have engaged in discussions about things like critical race theory will then be the subject of teacher harassment by national conservative groups opposed to critical race theory. Nicole, if you could respond to that.
Well, there's no private information that's released under the public records law. There's only public information and non-public information. And the teachers union really wants to just immunize their teachers from public scrutiny as public employees. So it is not an actual legally sound argument that you can prevent the disclosure of public records simply because you're afraid your teachers will be criticized. What they're really doing is punishing me for submitting public records requests. And they're also trying to send a message to other parents that if you submit public records requests because you want to know what your kids are learning in school, that they'll come after you with a lawsuit that could cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And, I just can't let that happen without a fight.
And that's what's playing out in real time. Again, if we look at your original petition, you just asked to look at the coursework being taught in your daughter's school. You were asking for all lesson plans in which the concept of whiteness as a social construct is discussed, and at all grade levels and lesson plans, the approval process there. So, John, I know that you're requesting to dismiss the case here. What are your main arguments about why this case particularly should be thrown out?
There's two. The first is the law is crystal clear that private third parties, special interest groups like this labor union, don't have any standing to disrupt the public records process. You have a records requester and you have the government agency that responds, and it's the government agency that's charged with releasing records or withholding them. Private third parties have no standing to disrupt the public's right to know what our government is up to. And the second, under Rhode Island's anti-SLAPP law, this interferes with Nicole's right to learn about what her government is up to talk about that. So it's also an anti-SLAPP violation, which is a strategic lawsuit against public participation. By having sued Nicole, the union is interfering with her rights, and that's illegal in Rhode Island.
Yeah, private citizen just trying to figure out, again, what's being taught at the public school. The media reports are that a judge is expected to announce her ruling sometime before December 20th. John, how hopeful are you that the judge would agree with your conclusions?
We're quite hopeful. Again, the law is just crystal clear here. If the union's lawsuit is allowed to proceed, it's a full frontal assault on the very concept of open and transparent government and on every parent's right to know what their kids are going to learn. And Rhode Island law is clear. They have no basis to bring this lawsuit. It's legally baseless, and we're very hopeful the court's going to find that.
Nicole, if we could just end on this note here, your message to concerned parents like yourself who've now been facing major challenges when it comes to accessing curriculum. The fact that you yourself are being sued, what would you tell parents who might have concerns about a similar fate?
Parents have an absolute right to request public information about what their kids are learning in school. There's no reason to be afraid of the teachers union because their bullying tactics will fail, and my case will show that in court. Even if we don't win at this level, we're going to continue fighting it because this is a matter of open government, it's a matter of public education, and it's a matter of civil rights. Our civil rights as American citizens are not conditioned on a special interest group to harass you with litigation.
All right. Just a fascinating case. We will continue to follow that right here on Newsmax. Nicole Solas and John Riches, thank you both for your time this morning. We appreciate it.